beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week's stock pick which I will be sharing is none other than Kronologi Asia Bhd trading on Bursa Malaysia ACE market pairing stock ticker 0176 KRONO. If you have been following my IG and Facebook, you would know that I've just came back from attending corporate briefing of Kronologi Asia Bhd, which was held recently on the 25th June Tuesday at St. Regis Hotel KL. For this event, I actually flew myself there in the morning and rushed back to the airport upon end of the corporate briefing to fly back same day in the evening. But all these efforts are worthwhile as I get to understand the business of Kronologi Asia better and also get to ask the CEO of Kronologi, that is Mr. Edmund Tay, 3 important questions which I shall share with everyone on his reply in this video. So if you're keen to know how Kronologi Asia Bhd plan to ride on the wave of AI boom and Malaysia's emerging as data center powerhouse in Southeast Asia, including its latest technical analysis, make sure you watch this video till the end. And before I start, allow me to congratulate myself and my IM members who followed me in Persona trade. Yesterday, despite me traveling and being busy, I managed to close a trade on Persona, netting in a beautiful profit of 22% under 1 month's time. Not bad, right? Though I still have more than 10 open positions now on Bursa stock, I'm quite confident each one would eventually play out accordingly, bringing in nice profit to me and my members. Now, let's get started. Kronologi is a MSc status company providing data storage and a cloud specialist with more than 18 years of experience as a data storage specialist and has more than 100 staff within the Pan-Asia region as shown on this slide. MSc status, now also known as Malaysia Digital Status, is a program that grants companies certain incentives such as tax exemptions and freedom of ownership to catalyze overall economic growth. And to be eligible for MSc status, companies must meet strict requirements and are subject to approval by the relevant authorities. So only companies that are strong will be granted such status. For the past 9 years, from financial year 2015 to financial year 2024, the company has managed to produce a net profit CAGR of 12% and revenue CAGR of 19%. To me, any CAGR of 10% and above is considered good, factoring in myriad of challenges and competition posed by the market over the years. And in my opinion, only minority of stocks trading on the Bursa ACE market is able to perform such a feat. In fact, majority of the stocks trading on the ACE market are still cash burning and not making a single profit yet. Kronologi also has a diversified customer base comprising government sectors, large enterprises, food and beverage companies, banks, financial institutions, stock exchanges, as well as media and broadcasting companies. As you can see from the slide here, Baidu is also one of the clients of Kronologi, which accounted for 5% of the company's revenue as of now, according to the CEO, Mr. Edmund Tay. Baidu is one of the largest artificial intelligence and internet companies in the world. Kronologi provides EDM solutions to Baidu. And if Kronologi has the capacity to serve Baidu's hyperscale infrastructure in China, it is not unreasonable to assume that all other hyperscalers, that is, large cloud service providers such as Microsoft, Google, could potentially also be Kronologi's client as well, and that include Amazon Web Services. Last year March, Amazon Web Services, or in short AWS, announced RM25.5 billion or USD 6 billion investment to launch an AWS cloud computing infrastructure in Malaysia by 2037 in order to establish an AWS region. As of March last year, Malaysia's data center related investment has increased exponentially to reach RM76 billion. And on 2nd May this year, it is also published that Microsoft will invest RM10.47 billion or USD 2.2 billion over the next 4 years in cloud and AI services in Malaysia. And on 30th May this year, we also saw that Google also announced its commitment to invest RM 9.43 billion or $2 billion in Malaysia, including its first data center and Google Cloud facility, which will be in Sime Gabri Properties Almina Business Park in Selangor State. During the corporate briefing yesterday, the CEO of Kronologi, Mr. Edmund Tay, did say that they are looking to grow its market share in Malaysia in view of Malaysia's government's target to make Malaysia a regional data center hub for Asian and Asia. Meantime, Kronologi revenue's top contribution still comes from Singapore, China and Philippines, with Malaysia contributing the least to its revenue thus far. And as quoted by the CEO, Mr. Edmund Tay, Kronologi will spare no effort to go anywhere as long as they could uncover a new growing opportunity, and this time they are seeking potential partnership in Malaysia to ride on the wave of data center growth in Malaysia. For AI growth to take place and accelerate, it needs three critical supporting factors. That is, the first one, a high-speed processing in the front end, which means, in simpler terms, semicon chips player would need to innovate to produce more capable and efficient chips by integrating AI into various semicon design, productions, and testing aspects. Second, AI can only thrive on low latency data platform. And third, it would need safe place to store and archive the enormous data generated in order for AI to learn, analyze, and repurpose. According to the CEO, Mr. Edmund Tay, these are the two key factors which Kronologi expertise comes into play. Kronologi is able to architect a modern data platform to support multi-sites, multi-cloud, multi-users for low latency data accessibility and orchestration. Kronologi provides AI data-driven platform for GPUs direct access for generative AI use cases, which turn data at rest to data in motion. Kronologi also helped to build an end-to-end data continuum for data management from hot to warm to cold. The way I see it, the current market share Kronologi is having is merely scratching the surface of the unstructured data market worldwide. According to the forecast made by IDC, the growth of unstructured data fueled by AI from year 2021 to 2026 will reach 21% compounded annual growth rate, or CAGR. There are huge potential markets awaiting the company to tap into and grow. Kronologi expertise and solution will help organizations to unlock potential of their digital data by managing, preserving, and protecting data over its entire life cycle in hybrid and multi-cloud manner. By now, I am sure we are familiar with what Kronologi business model is and how they are strategically positioned to leverage on the AI boom over the next 3 to 5 years. Now let us take a look at its latest chart pattern. Kronologi debuted on the ACE Market Bursa way back on the 15th December 2014 at 29 cents issue price per share, and on the October 2017, we saw how the stock made an historical high to touch 1 ringgit and 7 cents before coming down to make a historical low of 26.5 cents on March 2020, which was the start of the COVID pandemic. Back then, the stock market in general were all hit badly, so it's fair to say that the crash in Kronologi stock price was due to Black Swan event and not due to the company's performance per se. After that, we could see that Kronologi stock price recovered and make a continuous surge to touch 78.5 cents around February 2021, which also made a double top, and after that we saw how the stock price been crashing down since then before it recovered and made a U-turn back up on November 2022. The stock price reversed back up from a low of 33.5 cents then to chart a high of 52.5 cents on April 2023 before pivoting back down to around 33 cents to make a double bottom. And based on technical analysis, double bottom is powerful, and it was only natural for us to see how it rebounded from that level to hit 48 cents around June this year. As you can see from its chart pattern here, prior to the release of its latest quarterly earnings, the chart pattern formed a bullish flag. Such bullish flag pattern usually should produce another leg up, notwithstanding any negative catalyst like less favorable earnings result. So when did I buy into Krono stock? In fact, I bought into Krono stock few hours prior to the release of its quarterly earnings on 24th June, Monday, which I also shared it with my IM members, and also the rationale behind breaking my own rules of never buying into a stock prior to release of its earnings. Anyway, I only bought a small size into Krono as a way to have my skin in the game, so that I would be more interested in the corporate event which I attended yesterday, and partly due to the bullish chart pattern form as well. As we all know by now, Krono first quarter 2024 earnings result was lagging compared to its same quarter last year. This quarter, Krono recorded revenue of 57.751 million versus RM 63 million year over year, that is about 90% decline, and net profit of RM 1.443 million versus RM 2.551 million year over year, which is a decrease of about 43%, which was attributed to lower segmental contribution and higher operating costs. Quarter over quarter, its revenue also registered a decline of around 37% and net profit decline of around 11%. Hence, we saw the next trading day, that is 25th of June, the stock price gapped down to open at 41 cents versus its last close of 42.5 cents, and it continued selling down to close at 38.5 cents on the same day. This was also the day where I attended the corporate briefing by the CEO. Upon attending the corporate event and after talking to the CEO, I have enough conviction in this stock, hence I did not panic sell or anything. In fact, I plan to buy in at strong support level to average down my position. And today, as I'm making this video, that is on the 26th June, I saw a slight rebound on the stock price to move around 39.5 cents to 40 cents. And one of my members was also asking me if now is the right level to average down. See my reply to my members. I only plan to average down when it hit the gap fill around 36.5 cents. Today's rebound is not firm and premature to say if it will be well supported. So if you take a look at Krono's daily chart, there is a gap to be filled at around 36.5 cents, which was left there since 3rd of May this year. From my technical trading experience, gap fill tend to act as a strong magnet and strong support. Hence, when Krono stock price eventually get there, I would plan to add my second tranche. And my target price will be at around 48 cents to make a double top in near term. But by year end, I do see the possibility of Krono stock price to trade back up to 79 cents to make a triple top, provided the Kronos management is able to steer its following quarterly performance to be back on track. And during the corporate briefing, the CEO, Mr. Edmund Tay, did also give out a target up to RM 400 million in revenue for its financial year ending 2025, as reported here on the Edge People as well. If you could see from the slide here, RM 400 million revenue would not be an impossible target to hit, looking at how in the past 3 years, Kronologi has been registering an annual revenue above RM 300 million consistently in the past 3 years, that is from 2022 to 2024. In my opinion, Kronologi is a profitable company with a bright prospect ahead and a sound management. And you should only buy into the stock if you have the patience to at least hold it for months. Do not expect overnight surge, as Kronologi stock definitely does not belong to those pump and dump stock category. Up till now, I have yet to share on what were the questions I posed to the CEO yesterday, which are as follows. The first questions I asked Mr. Edmund Tay was, based on its latest quarterly earnings release recently, revenue from China was reduced by 47%. Was this a concern for the company, and did the management foresee such decreasing trend to persist into the remaining 2024? To which the reply by the CEO did acknowledge that while the property crisis in China did spread across the general economy in China, but he also saw how the China government is currently putting in good efforts to rescue its property market and in turn help to revive its economy as a whole. And Mr. Edmund Tay also echoed that he is confident and has faith in the Chinese government to overcome the current crisis and overturn it into victory eventually. This explains why Mr. Edmund Tay is bullish on China and said that he saw huge potential growth in China going forward. And my second question to Mr. Edmund Tay was, Kronologi's most recent quarters released recently registered a decline on both its revenue and net profit. did he foresee this trend to continue into the remaining of this year? To which the CEO replied that operating results in the first quarter of its fiscal year tend to be generally slower than other quarters due to lower clients' IT expenditure activities and also higher than expected in operation costs. And to that, the management is currently actively seeking ways to reduce its operation costs going forward. And on top of that, I think I have to concur with him that it is only fair for us or any investors to assess the company's performance based on its whole year instead of looking at its quarterly earnings result in isolation. And finally, my third question to Mr. CEO was, what is the latest progress of Kronologi talks with Amazon Web Services, Alibaba Cloud, Tencent, Ping An Cloud, and Microsoft Azure, and are there any potential partnership on the horizon? To which the CEO replied that it is still premature to comment anything on this aspect, but when the time is right, the company would surely announce it to the public accordingly. These are the pictures I taken with both the CEO and the COO. I would say Mr. Edmund Tay, the CEO, came across to me as someone who is very passionate about his work, high-spirited entrepreneur with a touch of aggressiveness in his blood. And on the other hand, Mr. Tan Jack-min, the COO, displayed a very down-to-earth and pragmatic spirit. Hence, I do expect both to be able to work well together, creating a seamless synergy for the company. And lastly, I would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Tan Yap Singh for inviting me to this corporate event. Mr. Tan is a corporate advisor and he has been in this industry for more than 20 years. He works with many public listed CEOs in organizing their corporate events and coordinating the flow of the activities for the day. He also acted as the MC for that day. Okay, I think I better end the sharing for today here before it gets too lengthy. I've put in the most effort into creating this video thus far, and I would appreciate for a thumbs up if you like the content of today's video as a way to motivate me to create more valuable contents every week. Feel free to share with us your thoughts on Kronologi stock. Finally, remember to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, and bye! I shall see you again in my next video.